I live with a wonderful family, and I love them so much. I really couldn't ask for a better one. But about a year ago, things started to get really confusing for me. I felt different from other girls. I felt like a complete outsider looking in on what I thought was normal. In 7th grade, girls were putting on makeup and acting so stereotypical, like getting into drama and boys. Of course, I tried to do the same thing, putting on makeup and dressing differently to fit in. It was an on and off cycle, a phase, a typical teenage thing, right? I just told myself that I was just a tomboy and didn't like wearing a lot of quote-unquote feminine things. Of course, gender has nothing to do with clothing. But when people use female pronouns on me, it's a different story. I don't like it when my parents call me their daughter or that I'm a girl or whatever. I kept quiet saying that I'm a girl, there's nothing I can do about it, and just shrugged it off. A little later in the same year, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. Scoliosis is a condition that makes your spine curve abnormally into an S or a C shape. I had to go to doctor's offices to get x-rays of my spine, but when I did, my parents had to fill out these medical forms. I watched my mom fill out one of them. She had to circle if I was male or female, and of course she circled female. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't like it one bit, but I told myself that it was completely reasonable and it's nothing new. Then later, when I was alone in my room, I began to think back when I was a little younger. I wasn't boyish back then, mostly because my mom dressed me. I never really cared because I was little. But I remember always wishing that I was boy. I was consistently saying how much I wanted to be a boy, but I thought it was normal until I was in 8th grade. I had asked one of my friends if they ever felt like they wanted to be a boy. They said no, and they said they liked being a girl. I was surprised. I felt even more confused. I thought that maybe I was a transgender male, but then quickly erased the thought when I knew I didn't like the male pronouns and didn't have the right dysphoria. I felt so confused. I didn't want to be a girl, but I didn't want to be a boy either, which I thought was impossible at the time. I had no one to talk to that understood what I was going through. I wondered, maybe this was a phase? I didn't know. My confusion made me fall into a dark period in my life, feeling like I didn't belong anywhere, which made me think that I was so ungrateful, knowing many other people have much more intense problems than me, and that I shouldn't waste my time on such stupid things. But then, I came across a word called non-binary, which means that one doesn't conform completely to either male or female. I felt like hope risen for me. I read about the topic and instantly knew that I am non-binary. It felt right, but then I thought maybe I should wait to see if it was a phase, that maybe I was never non-binary in the first place and just made a complete fool out of myself. And I also thought that if I even hesitated in the first place, then I wasn't really non-binary and that I was a fake. A transgender person who wanted to be non-binary while it wasn't who I was. I just knew my dark feelings would spark up and it caused me to go straight to my bad habits again. It would be the first thing I'd think about doing whenever trouble struck. My sister sort of found out about my issue. She's a smart one, and she tried to use they, them pronouns and back away from calling me her sister, using sibling instead. I was so grateful my sister tried to make me feel better, and that she supported me. But my parents, I love my parents, and they're amazing, but I wish we'd finally move forward with my situation. Like, for example, I want them to let me cut my hair and get a binder, not keep me in the same uncomfortable place. But that made me feel selfish. I was constantly telling myself that not everything was about me. I knew it had to be hard on them as well. I know my situation wasn't exactly what they're expecting. I felt like a disappointment, and that maybe I should just present myself as a girl for the sake of my parents so I don't cause them stress. I really felt bad about myself. Now, I recently discovered a boy band called BTS. I love how inspirational they are. They help me with my bad feelings. They tell me to love myself and be myself. In the future, I just hope to be happy and to finally be comfortable with myself and who I truly am.